Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with a cup of coffee, and it's time for another roster review. We've got the milk from Space Makes You Ace, Spacemilk. What we've got here, we've got obviously good arena team. We've got a good fleet. Let's get to our key starting points. We've got sisters here, and they've got the Zetas necessary to run everything you need. The optional leader Zeta on Asajj isn't there, so that's totally fine. Right. Let's see what we got here. I'm not the biggest fan of Acolyte. Acolyte has uses in PvP, but isn't very good in PvE at all. Understandably, Initiate will come in for the Death Storm when you get yourself ready for that, and I prefer Spirit PvP wise, or PvE wise. Talia gives you versatility in terms of going for P4 in the H sit there. But all in all, I like what I see. A bunch of G12 sisters never gonna make me upset. Let's look at the old booty hunters. Bounty Hunter's looking good. I don't really have any issues here. I like Django in this group more. Even if you want to keep Greedo in the team, I like Django in there instead of Cad then. But Cad's good. All in all, this is a good team. You don't really need to do anything to it. But yeah, just Django's super useful. So that's just something there. Good Empire here. Okay, good. Yeah. Do we have Sith to fill in for them in terms of a Grand Arena? We do not. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and recommend that that some gearing gets paid attention to these two fellas. You're going to want to have this Empire team a little bit better. You can leave it on defense, and those AoEs will do some damage. Or the other thing you can do is you can get Shore and just gear them up and not worry about the stars and stick them in there. Probably in the space of Thrawn, where you might want to use him in more useful pursuits. But yeah, I like the Empire team. Just needs a little bit of gear here. I wouldn't mind seeing the pre-taunt Shore Trooper as an option for going into this team, although I know he's a bit of a pain in the ass to gear. Ewoks look good. I wouldn't change a thing. That's about perfect, really. Perfect amount of investment for what it is. You've got your big damage at G12. You've got your revives at G12, so that's perfect. Yeah, I like I said, I wouldn't go any farther on that. Okay, you've got the right guys, the right makeup for your First Order team. Could use some gear love. This is mostly a defensive team on your Grand Arenas, but it's one of those, if you have a good First Order team and you're going against, say, like something like a Malak, and you've got, First Order cleans up Malak better than anybody. So getting some gear levels on at least some of these key guys is going to be really important going forward. It's not an immediate need, but it's definitely something I think about. Like, I'd be more willing to put gear into my First Order than getting a new team leveled up, essentially. Okay, not seeing anything in terms of the Galactic Republic. Geos, Boggles up, of course. Not really seeing much there. Not much going on trooper-wise, which is understandable. Jedi. Yep, just as we do. Old Republic. Not seeing any Canderous or Juhani. Going forward, that'll hinder the old Darth Revan process. Yeah, totally fine. Maybe G8 on Sabine, but just for her ship. I'm not a big Phoenix guy or whatever. Let's see here. 2 Zetas on Luke. I'm assuming it's the lead, and yeah, it's totally fine. That's basically what I would go for. R2's powered up. Not seeing the guard Zeta on Chewie. I would like to see that guard Zeta gone there, but other than that, still looking pretty good in terms of what's there. I mean, you've got the Rebel fleet, so you might want to throw some gear on Akbar, get him faster. It's not super important your Akbar goes first, but it's pretty important that you know, he kind of gets moving fast. Let's see, resistance. I mean, the pieces are there for the Jedi Training Ray team, but I mean, it's a big Zeta haul. You gotta have at least one on BB-8, and then you gotta get the Zetas on Ray. So I understand that not being fully developed. Yeah, maybe G8 on Jin for the ship for your fleets. Whoops, that's not what I was trying to do. I don't think he's very important. Okay, no nest development really. So that won't be something you can slip into your sister's team or maybe First Order to kind of like screw with people. Separatists, what we got for droids? 2, 3, 3, 3, 1. Alright, we're missing some work there. We looked at Sith already. Sith Empire, no HK, no nothing. Smugglers, not really expecting anything different. There we go. Okay, so I think the biggest thing that I'm not seeing, which is probably because things aren't activated and whatnot, is I'm not seeing any movement towards getting either Padme and her team up, or Darth Revan and his team. I think both of those teams are, like, one of them needs to be here, because Padme's a pretty decent counter for Darth Revan. You know, you might be stuck with Malak left over, which is why I was saying gear up the First Order a bit. But yeah, that's something I would absolutely be really paying attention to. And I don't see any movement towards General Grievous. Specifically, I don't see Grievous at all either. That's something, once again, that's just going to be super, super important going forward, especially in terms of, you know, if you don't go the Darth Revan Malak thing and you get Padme up and you work on that Galactic Republic team, then the Grievous Suicide Squad is a brilliant counter to Malak. So, you know, like, you've got a lot of the pieces for that Grievous Suicide Squad. So you know, working on those Sept droids is probably a good idea because it gives you a nice defensive team that's really hard to take out for GAC. You can work the Suicide Squad on Malak teams in the arena. But other than that, I mean, it looks really good. At 2 million, I'd be worried about having teams under-geared. So, like, that First Order team needs a little bit of love. I mean, it doesn't need to be all full G12s, but, you know, like, your G12 on Kylo Ren, I think, Unmask is really important, especially when people try to burn their Ewoks for a cheap win. So, like, get some health mods and speed on crew, and get that team up to like G11 across the board, and you're looking at a really solid defensive team that's going to take something more than Ewoks. So that's something to pay attention to. I mean, G12 on the other Kylo would be another solid move in terms of fending off an easy win for Ewoks. So that's something to think about. I'm not the biggest fan of JTR because now it's basically like just like a glorified bounty hunter or First Order counter, and she can work against the Old Republic team as well, but it's not even as consistent as First Order. Like, First Order is a really solid counter to Old Republic, whereas JTRs can fail if those exposes don't land. So I don't know. I don't know. I mean, when there's time to gear and you have excess Zetas, which it looks like you're starting to catch up to the Zeta crunch, to whereas you're not missing key Zetas everywhere. It might be good to bring that team up just to have another solid offensive team for GAC and for the raid viability. But yeah, like, it's not something that would be super high on my priority list. I mean, I think it really comes down to is what I can't see at the moment is where the development is going. So if you're going to be working on that Galactic Republic team, then that's great, and do so. And if you're going to be working on Darth Revan, or that's also great, and to do so. If you're working on both, perfect. I'd say bring Grievous into your mind, because like I said, those are the 3 big teams right now that are missing. I mean, Geos are in vogue at the moment, but I would definitely be aware of getting Geos and Geo ships and such, just because of how things are going forward with the pending Malevolence cap ship. But all in all, like it's not too bad. I'm not really seeing like a really big dearth of Zetas, so that's good. Like that was something that I would think you probably expected me to come up with. Yep. How fast is that CLS? 109. Okay. That's not very fast. Okay, one thing I am kind of noticing, just looking at the speeds that I'm checking out right now, is that the account is kind of slow. Like I was expecting to have these secondary speeds a little bit higher. Like what's the speed on Thrawn here? Like this is a really important character to have fast. Ooh, he doesn't even have that fully 78. Yeah, no. Yeah, really need to focus on getting more speed on these characters. I think at this is something I can clearly see at the moment. Like it's kind of surprising that Talzin's your first and fastest Night Sister. Like that's very strange, and it's only with a plus 85 kit. Like I would expect Daka to be your fastest, or Zombie even. Only 62. Yeah, you're gonna want to genuinely focus on getting more speed mods on this account. I know it's RNG, and I know it's a pain in the ass to think about, but that's one thing I'm seeing. I'm also seeing like a fair lack of G12 plus pieces. Like you got 3 here, you got 5 here, 2, but that's 2 more. But yeah, there's a genuine lack of G12 plus pieces here. That's something else to think about. Your only G13 ready character is Jedi Revan, and that's not the most useful G13 to spend on your first. So yeah, I think the biggest thing is like focusing on another strong team project, getting the speed of the account up, just like in general. So just really putting some crystals into getting new mods and leveling them up and checking them all out. Then slicing the ones that you've got that are good. I think that's something you're really going to need to focus on over the next couple of months. And let's go look at the ships. I know you're rocking the fleets. I mean, yeah, it all looks pretty good. Wouldn't mind seeing a little bit more gear on Sabine just for some health on your Phantom, but all in all, everything looks good. Obviously, gear on Akbar is important. But yeah. All in all, count looks really good. It's good. There's a nice balance going on here. You've got some strong defensive teams. You've got some strong offensive teams. Yeah, I just think those last few things are all you need to do. If anybody watching hasn't subscribed yet, please do so. If you liked the video, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, give us a thumbs down. You can join us on Discord and do a request of your own roster review, or you can put comments down below what you think I was going on here with. Anyway, have a good morning.